Okay, hello everybody. Welcome tonight. This is episode 77 FMA discussion, and tonight we are featuring Gladys. Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming on.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to do it because I think, like I mentioned to you, getting females on here hasn't been the easiest task. So I want to thank you because I think you are currently at the 77 episodes 4.
Good number.
Yeah, so we need to definitely increase that. So I want to thank you for coming on. So don't be nervous. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna get started. So
Yeah, this is coffee, by the way.
what's that?
This is coffee, by the way.
Oh, okay, all right, just for checking. Okay, we'll just make sure that that's in fact the case. So we're gonna have somebody check that. So. um, and unfortunately, froze already, but that's okay. Um, okay, so I'm always just curious, what's kind of going on with the COVID situation? You guys able to train openly and all that?
Yeah, we're training and we're wearing masks. Not a lot of people in the group. Well, when I train with Chris Chu, it's not a lot of people. It's less, like around 10 and less.
Mm,
And some students are still weary of training, so we understand not everybody wants to train just yet. They want to see this whole thing blow over and then they'll come back.
mm,
But yeah,
yeah,
training is happening.
yeah, it's tough. Because I mean, like, if the people are apprehensive, I mean, you can't hold them accountable. You can't blame them. I mean, so yeah, I just feel for school owners. I really do. I have extreme empathy, for the school owners and what they're going through.
Yeah, and then you have like Tuhan going live, which helps a lot of the FCS group
Mm,
still train. But it's nothing compared to actual
yeah,
hands-on
no,
training.
I know it's not. I
Yeah.
know. But you know what though? I was having this talk the other day with somebody, and like regarding Zoom classes and other formats. And I tell you something, it's not going away. When COVID goes away,
Yeah.
this online training, I don't think it's going away. I think it's going to change the landscape permanently as far as training, the supplement and all that. I really do. I don't think it's leaving us.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but all right, we're going to jump into it. We already got holy, see, man, I tell you guys, man, you get a
What?
female guest on here, and all you guys all are jumping out.
What's happening?
We got 12. Wow, we got Terry. Hey, Guru Terry from Stockton. Jesse. Uh, and Jesse did mention to me that you were nervous. uh, John. Hey, John. Rister. Felix. Hello, Felix. Chris.
We already got.
And good. Okay. All right. So excellent. Okay. So let's get into it. So your first FMA experience. Who, where, when, and what's that?
Um, this is going to be kind of embarrassing on my part. I didn't know there was such a thing as Filipino martial arts. And I was born in Cagayan de Oro, and then I moved to Japan when I was 3 up until I was 9 years old, and then the United States. Um, and that I've always, said, how come that there is, Japanese have karate and Chinese have kung fu, and then it's like one of my friends was like, Filipino has an art. It's called Arnis,
Mm.
and I was like, what? And it's embarrassing. And you know what? It's not uncommon for some Filipinos to not know that there is an art.
No, I think it's from what I understand over there too. They don't know. Matter of fact, from what I understand, I hear there's been a really great increase as of late, and propagating and all that. But there was a time when basketball and taekwondo were the main things. Sadly, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but my friend was like, yeah, there's our niece, and that word was actually foreign to me. I didn't know what it
Nice.
was. So he introduced me to Modern Arnis in 2011. I started with Glenn Da Vinci Jr. in Modern Arnis, and I started training with them. And then they told me, you have to go to this cruzada. And this cruzada was just a whole family network of Filipino martial artists. I'm talking about, and that's where I met FCS. Other than PTK, Palm One, held by Guru Rafi, Eskrima Academy with Eric and Sergi. Yeah, and that's where I joined FCS. That's where I met everybody.
So how long, I mean, prior to that event where you got exposed to different styles and arts and what have you, how long were you training in Modern East prior to that?
Modern Arnis, I've been training for about a year, and then after that, I've been training with FCS since 2012. And
So, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. And recently, and of course, the Cruzada happened again, and I kind of rekindled, you know, and went back to full circle with Modern Arnis, where I met Chris and Bruce Chu. And then they were like, "Yeah, we're Modern Arnis." I'm like, "Cool."
Okay.
Then I just started training with them.
So then, so backing up just a bit, when you prior to the Crusade on that, like just again because you never heard of it, and then you join and all that. Obviously, you're getting exposure, but so just tell us about your experience. Like I mean, I'm going to assume it was your mostly was coming from a stick translation. Your the
Yeah,
first year there.
yeah. Well, with Da Vinci, I mean, these group of people when I trained with them, they were just so welcoming, and they were so kind because they knew that I didn't know how to swing a stick, I didn't know how to do
Mm-hmm.
anything um, other than just to hit hard, and then eventually they showed me how to hit the target and oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, basically, they showed me how to do with fluid and patience, and because at the first time anybody does anything, they think that they have to be hardcore and badass about it, and then they
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
showing you techniques. Um, yeah, pretty much. They made me feel very comfortable, and I just loved it because of the camaraderie. If
Oh,
that makes
excellent. So here, just before we're gonna go next, I always like just to give hello to people that are watching, and there is a bunch, man. I'm telling you. All right, so let's okay. Uh, Father Bruce, Dad's here. Chris, hi, David Farmer. Uh,
Hey,
okay, you must know him. Okay, good, good.
yeah,
Okay. Uh, Fatima from the Philippines. Gary. Brian Rodriguez. Hey, Brian. And Alvin. Hi, Alvin. He's from, you must know him. He's also FCS. Okay, okay. All right. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody, didn't leave anybody out, and I didn't. Good. Okay, so it sounds like they're a welcoming group and all that. Obviously, aside from maybe, being a little uncomfortable in the beginning, you're not never done it before and all that, and you're trying to get the mechanics down, all that. But what do you think about the overall experience? Obviously, I mean, you continued, so something must have resonated with you.
I loved it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's the Filipino in me that something had awoken.
Yeah.
I just absolutely loved it. I just loved at first it was with sticks, and when I started training with FCS, wow, that was amazing.
Mhm.
With the gatherings that we had, they did blade work, and then I fell in love with, oh, we can do blade too, and
Yeah.
then with the sarong, and then which it's just like it with everything. Tuhan definitely showed a lot of techniques with different types of weapons, so it was yeah, I just loved it since then. I love playing with knives.
Guys are listening. Please make a note of that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like blades.
um, but okay, so all right, so a year from there, you go to this Crusada event, you meet FCS, you join them, and what year was that? what year was that again? So, I
2000,
mean,
I started training with them 2012, and then
2012. All right. Wow. Okay. So good. I mean, that's okay. So now, all right. So next stop, FCS. Okay. So you meet them at the Cruzada event there. Um, let's dive into that. Like, what what initially attracted you to want to continue with them? I mean,
the
was it because
people.
the fact that they offered edge weapons in conjunction with stick?
I gotta say, like, honestly, the people they had. I met Ray Norton and Bryce Leon and Ben Harris and Cody Chilson. They're just, I was so drawn to their skills and their wealth of knowledge and their, and their different showing techniques. No matter if it was blade, somebody had always brought something different to the table, and it's never boring. It's always something new and something different to learn, and that's what attracted me. It's just I'm never bored with
Yeah. Okay.
whatever
Okay.
they had to teach.
So it must have been before we get more detail about the system and what you're doing and what have you. It had to be as far as the compare and contrast, so to speak. It had to be really different because here you were coming from the year Mara and Nice with just doing stick. Now you're coming to a system. Now you're getting exposed to what obviously knife. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm going to guess maybe some sword and some. You mentioned the sarong, the karambit. So how was that transition, far as going from just stick to now where you're getting like the whole gambit? What were your thoughts?
Um, it was really interesting to me because, when you look at a blade, you just see a blade or a knife. But the way Ray Dianaldo had explained it in each of his seminars, the history, just the way that he narrates the history behind the blade and how to use it and where it came from, what tribes it came from, that just like eluded me more and wanted to train and give it much respect, like the Campilan, how the
Mhm.
Moros used it. That's actually one of my favorite blades now.
Yeah, dos
Um,
manos. Yeah,
huh?
dos manos. And
Yeah.
KI. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I know he does. And I remember from his last video or his interview, he didn't like the karambit, which actually that's my favorite. Like,
The
is the
karambit?
karambit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I just think it's really elegant in the way it's the curvature and everything.
The stealth on the inside, stealth. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, we
So
just
besides, so yeah, that's what's kept me interested is just the history and um and the sticks and. Mhm.
we have. I got a question here, Gladys, from one of the viewers. Question for Miss Gladys. Miss Gladys, Brian. What do you think is your strong areas? Knife, stick, bolo, empty hands. Part one. Second question. What areas do you think you need to work on more?
Yeah. Oh, good question.
Yeah,
I I think
Brian.
I think there's always room for improvement. I just think of myself as a student um, all the time, and if I want to be as humble as to say that God, I don't think I'm good at anything. I just think I've done it for so long that I want to dive into everything, and I want to be good in sticks and blade, and I have the propensity to want to learn so much that I kind of get scattered, and then I have to get back and focus into one thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's happened
what
to all.
sticks
Yeah,
is definitely my favorite.
yeah, that's happened to all of us. Me, I mean, like just taking on too much. I can tell you that. Just doing too many things. Okay, so all right, so you mentioned you need to work on all attribute development, all that. And how about thing?
In one area, maybe I'm strong at blades.
Blades? Okay, no, great, okay. And yeah, we all need to work on stuff. Are you kidding me? So I think regardless of where you are in your journey, I think there's always stuff you can work on, especially if you look at it
Exactly.
from the lens of attribute development, speed, power, accuracy, delivery, non-telegraphic. There's always things to work on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think that goes
non-telegraph, for
for
sure.
everybody. Uh, Brian, you don't have to be sorry. Sorry for saying Miss Gladys. No, I'm just kidding, Brian.
What?
Oh man. Uh, Chris, Gladys is mean with knives. All right. Well, we're gonna make a note of that. All right, we have a few more people checking in. Um, Koki, hey, Mark brother, hey, and Melanie says hi.
Hi.
I guess she loves the FCS people too. Okay.
Oh yeah, she trains with us every Thursday nights.
Oh, okay, okay. So she's part. All right, okay. Um, all right. Let me just see. Okay, so so 2012. Okay, so let's just get over. So I know you're FCS now. Are you training? Because from what I noticed, there's obviously several branches, and I noticed a few in Florida as well. So if I'm mistaken, there's the Orlando and then Tampa Bay. I'm assuming you're with the Orlando group.
Yeah, I'm with the Orlando FCS group, and it is I'm under my instructor is Ben Zaharis,
Ben Sahara. Okay, okay,
and he's off of in Ocala, and I train in two places, but mainly it's at Bobby Dixon's and with Eric Giannini, and he's a practitioner as well.
okay. So what's just take us like if people if they had an interest in FCS when you enter. So what's covered? Not everything obviously, but when you go to a class setting. What can you tell us about him and your teacher?
My teacher Ben,
Correct.
amazing, amazing guy. I mean, really, it's first the class starts is what does anyone want to learn? What do you guys want to learn? Do you guys want to learn blades today? Do you want to learn sticks, empty
Oh, that's
hands?
nice.
Really, it's basically what the student would like, and
Hmm.
he just goes from there. And then then we'll go with the basics, and then for some reason, because it's FCS, it'll go from ABC to all the way out there somewhere. It's just like it's phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, Ben has done. Oh my goodness, he's gonna hate me. I forgot what else he's done. I think he's done a screamer too. I may be wrong, but yeah. I'm
No, it's
still,
great. No,
still
I think
nervous.
I think it's really neat that he asked you guys like what you like to do. I think that's refreshing. You know what I mean? Like to see what you students want to do as opposed to you walk in the door and not that and I don't want this to get misconstrued. I'm not saying it's a bad thing when you walk in there and there's a formalization and a format, what you're going to cover and all that. But I just think it's kind of neat and refreshing to hear that he asked you guys like, what do you want to do? I don't know.
Yeah,
I would like that. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I
we
would-
can do doubles to no ollie, we can do blades, we can do vital templates, we can do, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. But yeah, basically anything they want, and then we'll go on for like about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's great. Great. So you've been with 8 years. So obviously, you got a pretty good handle on things and all that. So what's current rank?
I am level two,
Okay, level two. And how many levels?
5.
5 levels. Okay. So no, nothing wrong with that. So what was I gonna say there? Like is each level based kind of like a basic, in other words, I guess what I'm trying to ask is that does it like you get level one and then there'll be stuff off level one that goes deeper, or is it just generally speaking just totally new material for each level, or maybe both?
So you have level 1, which is the basics, learning how footwork, just basic blade sticks, and then we do our sombratas. And then it goes into level 2, which the applications is the basics is, and then the drills, and then level 3 is like, okay, Now we're mixing up everything together. I think level 3 is the most difficult one because you have to do DUMOG. I mean, it's just a whole list of things, but yeah, it's just taking your skills, the practicality of it to another level, and then incorporating it into. My goodness, I'm so sorry, but yeah, it just gets a little bit more.
No, no, no. No, it sounds. I mean, no, it sounds good. It sounds
I don't
interesting.
want to give away too much of the curriculum. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah. No,
is.
no, no,
I,
no, no.
I
I
just
understand. I just, just in general sense. That was perfect. No, no worries. Perfect. Um, so again, so 8 years and all that. Like, what can you just? I mean, like, if you, for people who maybe they know the name, but they don't really know. I mean, then like for me, your example, other people they might know the name, they know who Ray Dianalo, so forth, and all that. But what can you tell us, like, why you would recommend FCS to people?
Um, well, there's no ego really, and
That's nice.
all ranks are left out the door. They're just so welcoming, and really,
Mm,
it's just like the camaraderie is what I truly. That's why any one of us sticks around for so long. There's no and we all are there for each other if there's something that we all need to learn like hey I'm having a little bit of an issue doing my level 3, could you help me, we'll drive to another city to help each other. That's what I've done. um, yeah, it's just the camaraderie of it.
oh, that's awesome. That's nice. You can actually go to another branch if you have stuff. Wow, wow, that's
and
nice.
and everybody in FCS has different martial arts in them. Some of
Mm,
them have practiced, JKD. Some of them practice in other arts, and all is welcome. Whatever we can learn from you,
yeah, yeah.
and that's what Tuhan likes. It's like whatever you want to bring your own skills into the melting pot. Just go ahead, bring it on. And bring it.
Oh,
It's we like learning from other people too. So, and that's what Tuhan welcomes as well.
I think that's fantastic when you have an instructor like that that allows you to do that, and and then self-expression, creativity, and avoidance of the robotic. I just find that always so like refreshing and all that. You know what I mean? Where the individuality and the creativity doesn't get squashed from the student. I
Yeah.
think that's fantastic. Um, just want to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Some folks will literally drive to another state
Yeah.
per Felix. Okay. Um, when it comes from Bruce. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. So okay. So you're there. At what point did you did you kind of return back to Marner and Nice where with Chris and Bruce?
Um, I honestly, well, I started talking to Chris more at the Cruzada, and
Mm,
I realized, oh, okay, you're in Orlando, cool. Because in these things, you don't know where anybody is from if you've never
yeah.
met them before. Some of them are like from other states or cities, but I was like, oh, okay, so you're from Orlando. So we started talking more about the modern Arnis, and then told him, hey, I actually started in modern Arnis, and he's like, well, you should get back and train. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. A lot of our stuff, modern Arnis, has been taught by Remy Praces, and of course Tuhan and Bruce Chu were his students.
I remember
So
that.
that's where Chris and I were like, we're cousins in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. Because I recall obviously when I interviewed Master Bruce, but also I knew that Tuan Ray had a significant background in Marnies, and I also knew
Mhm.
there was a lot of Marnies in the FCS. So that must have been a nice compliment when you guys met.
It was really nice because when I met them, it was like kind of full circle. I
Mm,
started with modern Arnis, I came back, and of course I'm doing two, uh, like modern Arnis and FCS. I mean, it comes together anyway. So.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So so when you after you met them, I mean obviously, I mean you go to where Chris teaches. Am I correct in that?
Mhm. Yeah, he teaches at the Screamer Academy in Orlando. So if you want the link, I'll send it to you later.
So is that okay? So everything's
It's
kind of
Wednesday nights.
centrally located where you are. So okay, that's nice. What is Chris? So how you like? What can you tell us? What Chris's approach and all that? Heard nothing but good things, but for the folks who are listening,
You got to go to his class and find out.
yeah, okay, okay. So when I come to Miami in January, I'm gonna have to make the trek up to Orlando.
Same thing with my instructor, Ben Zaharis. You got to come to our classes and find out.
And
Because
find out.
I think I did not explain it earlier. I was just like, okay, you just got to come to classes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. So now, do you just train with Chris, or do you also with his father, Master Bruce, as well?
I haven't had the honor to train with his father yet, just with Chris. I have seen Chris get his uke during the seminars,
Mm,
and that's just about the extent of the training. But I've had really great conversations with him.
okay.
Really nice guy.
No, no. Yeah, when I interviewed him, absolutely seems it. Yeah, I would agree. I'm actually, when I get down there, I'm supposed to meet like him, Chris, Chad Bailey, and all that. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. It sounds like a fun
Yeah,
bunch of
I
guys.
can't wait. I can't wait for you to come down and meet the Florida family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Dwight Woods and some other people.
Florida
Yeah,
man.
yeah, weather too. So it's gets pretty bad up around this time in Connecticut. Um, so all right, so then what do you? Okay, so now I know you're level 2 in FCS and all that, and obviously you're pursuing rank and all that. What about Chris's sanction under the father? Dad Bruce. I mean, are you seeking rank in that, or is it just more you're just kind of having fun?
Okay, I have to be honest about the rank. For just me,
Yeah.
I I get so nervous with ranking,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been doing this for almost 10 years. But I never like to rank. I think it's just because I'm so nervous when I do it. I
Yeah,
just
it's not
like
for
to
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just like being the practitioner. I like being around other people and learning their skills and touching hands
that's
with
great.
them,
Yeah.
and learning from them. It's just so, yeah, if I want to rank, yes, I'll do it. If I really want to do it, I'll rank.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I did with the level 2. And currently right now with trying to rank for level 3 in FCS, I'm not in a hurry, but I want to give respect to the teachers who have taken their time in training me. And eventually, of course, I'm going to have to rank up. But
Yeah.
as for now, I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying everybody's, you know, their knowledge and their skills. So I'm not in a hurry.
No, no. It's funny you mentioned that. Like, I mean, rank. Like I tell my students, like, you don't have to do it. Like, you don't have to rank. You know what I mean? If you just enjoy coming and just doing something and enjoy just moving around and whatever, but you're not really interested in like the rank and all that. I mean, you don't have to do it. I mean,
I
some
think
people like it. Some.
I think, and this is how I remember it, and I may be wrong, but the first time I got my level 1 in FCS, we were at an FCS gathering, and my instructor then didn't tell me that I was ranking for level 1. I was just going with the flow, and
Mm,
I didn't know that he was watching me. Um, and then when the training was done, Tuhan goes up to the stage, gives everybody their certificate, and then he calls me and gives me my level 1 certificate, and I'm like, what? So
wow.
you literally have to trick me to ranking.
Oh, so okay, so you actually didn't know like they were observing you, but you weren't aware of that. So okay, okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh my God. So later my instructor was like, yeah, you need to get over it. you have to get over it and rank
Mm,
up because you worked hard, you deserve it, and it gives respect to the instructors who are taking their time and putting in
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
so
But at the same time, like I like, I like the thing where the students, if they don't want them, hey, you don't have to. But if you want to, because one day, you want to have something to show for the work and the time you put in it, or maybe you have ambitions to teach one day, then I think that's great. But some people, they like just being around people, doing something they like, but not really concerned or motivated to have rank and title,
yeah.
which I think is fine. Um, just okay, Chris, just say when, Gladys, and we'll get you ranked in modern Arnis. There you go. Um, all right, so now, so it sounds like during the week. I mean, you're between the both places. I mean, how many times you
I
train?
I train when I can. I have to be honest here. I haven't trained as much as I'd like to, as much as I used to before, because I just had finished acquiring my license as a massage therapist, and then I train Wednesday nights with Chris, and then Thursday nights under Ben Harris at Bobby Dixon's.
Mm.
So yeah,
All right, so but at least you're getting, I mean, a couple times a weekend. I mean,
yeah,
at least.
whenever I can.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you got other things going on and all that. I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it.
Well, I really want to get back into focusing because I have been in school for a year and then this COVID thing happened, which really set back my obtaining my license for a lot of us
Mm,
at our class. So now that COVID is dwindling down a little bit, and hopefully I don't, well, whatever. Now that I'm done with school, I can focus now back to being in martial arts and being more into, visiting people at their dojo like I used to before. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I can finally focus back to martial arts. And another thing, again, it's me wanting to train in everything. I have this propensity to be scattered, and I'm trying
mm,
really hard not to do that this time because I want to do Kintao. I want to do capoeira with my friend Mila. I just, all these other arts. Just
yeah.
I want to do Muay Thai. But I gotta remain like okay, one step at a time.
No, I'm gonna tell you, and I think you're going about it. Not that I advocate what you should or shouldn't do. I don't want, but I can just tell you from experience, from taking too much stuff on, it just
Yeah,
it and that and I'm I've done it. It's, yeah, and then it
yeah,
becomes actually, it can become stressful. So the fun sometimes gets removed because you took too much on and you're trying to balance all this and put, fair time in each one, and it becomes stressful. For me anyhow, you know. So it's a lesson learned.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then let's go. Before we go in here, I want to just show everybody, we'll just show everybody you in action. All right, folks. So maybe you can, we'll show it, and you can kind of just explain to everybody like what's going on. Wait, we got to start that again.
Yeah, that was
There we go. My fault.
no worries.
I have to make this a lot more dynamic because we keep going in a circle.
All right, so take us for us and the folks who are watching. Uh, what was going on?
It's oh gosh, and that's just another thing too. How Tuhan teaches, he'll take one thing and he'll add something to the technique. So I can't really describe what that was. It was me trying to hit Bryce, and he's
Okay.
stopping me, and he has hands of oh my gosh, he has arms of steel. It's crazy, but it's that was a fun day. It's a little bit of I forgot. I am sorry. I am so
No,
sorry.
no,
This is
no. I mean,
embarrassing.
no, no. It looked. I mean, if I had to guess, and I mean, somebody here, I'm sure will correct me in Modern Arnis community or whatever.
I'm just
It
looking
looked like
terrible.
checking hand, and all that. Um, you know, contact check and all
Yeah,
that.
that's basically it. Check,
Yeah, yeah. That was
block,
it.
hit.
Block check hit block.
With the stick with
um,
the puño.
yeah. So neat. No, thank you. That was okay. So before, all right, this is what I in my I found this like really interesting. So folks that are watching, you went to the Philippines 2019. Is that the correct year? Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about, I mean, did you have this, before we get into the trip itself and all that, was this something that was planned way in advance, or, I mean, is this something that goes on every year?
That was some, yeah, this event is every year, of course, before COVID happened. It was always like in the beginning of the year,
Hmm.
Tuhan would have the gathering over in Philippines, and then he'd have one here in the US. I've always wanted to go, and I was never able to go. And
Hmm.
finally, I said, you know what, I'm going. I'm going, and I went in 2019. I saved up a lot of money, and I just wanted to train with the masters. And I haven't been in Philippines since I was 3 years old, so it was like
Wow,
a
okay.
yeah, I really saw it as reuniting it with my motherland, basically.
Hmm.
Um, and then I went to the Philippines, and it was just amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, when now, you mentioned that, you left here when you were 2 years old. Any relatives still there?
I have a lot of relatives there. Yes,
Mhm.
I just don't know who they are.
Yeah, no, no, no.
They're,
I was more just curious. That's all.
yeah, I have some in Leyte, some in Cebu, in Cagayan de Oro. Um, yeah, lots of cousins
Hmm.
over there, aunts. But life happens. You're just
Yeah,
doing
I
what you're
mean, for
doing here in
sure.
the U.S. and lose touch.
Yeah,
So
you're half a world away. You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and
exactly.
12 hours too. I mean, yeah. So then, what was I gonna say there? Um, so now, how long? I mean, because I understand, obviously, Tuan Ray was living there. How long has he been doing these yearly things?
I think maybe four,
Oh, so okay, 4 years.
4 years,
Okay,
five.
and obviously, nothing's this year, of course, sadly,
Yeah,
but
this
yeah.
year. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
so this is something you kind of you heard about from the other guys. So like, did you know people within your group there that were going the previous years?
yeah, yeah. Everybody was going, and I was just sitting and watching
Ah,
the videos and photos, and I was
not
so
fun.
envious
Yeah, not
because it was beautiful, and you get
yeah.
to train with the masters. And so yeah, I made it my goal to go. So I flew out and stopped at Beijing, and then I arrived in Manila at night, where I was greeted by um, a friend, and she dropped me off to our hotel, which was at BSA Twin Towers. And then I got to sleep for like a few hours, and then the next day we went off to um, to go see the sights and train.
So um, when you're okay, I'm just trying to think. I mean, this had to be like obviously some pretty significant planning going to. I mean, um, how long was the flight? I'm just curious, like the flight. How long?
14 hours. 14 hours.
Straight? No, you stopped at Beijing, so not straight to 14
Yeah, it was, and some delays. It was such a painful, it
Can't even
was
imagine
really painful,
14
but it was
hours.
so worth it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that would be tough for me. 14. Yeah, because I mean, I've always wanted to go. Like, a couple of one of my instructors is there, Abenir Khalis, and but I keep hearing that flight hours. And I'm
Yeah,
just
I would go back again and deal with with the 14 hours or 16 hours. This time, I definitely want to go to the Philippine house and see and train with Alex Presarsian and all of them. I want to do that too. could have done it last in
Mm.
2019, but I was limited time.
Yeah, yeah. So when you reference masters there, obviously, Tuan Ray's there. What other people, I mean, were there for the camp?
There were the FCS Italy people there. There were some from Brazil, and of course there was US at that time.
Mm.
So basically, what we all met in Philippines, and we the next morning I don't know if you saw the video. The traffic is insane in
No, I,
Manila.
I watched there, yeah, which I'm going to get to, with everybody and the four parts and that, which we're going to get to. But yeah,
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 it was insane.
yeah.
Like,
I hear. I mean, I haven't been there, of course, but I've heard that the traffic there is nuts.
it's crazy. So the first day we got to go to Villa Escudero Resort, where you see the downstream waterfall. It's a
Yeah.
restaurant, and it was just so beautiful, incredibly
Uh,
beautiful.
wow.
Um,
So with these events now, is it just from the people watching? I mean, so the purpose of the camps he has there is it to basically to bring everybody in from the different parts of the world that are his reps and all that, to kind of far as to bring everybody that maybe haven't met before. Is there also testing and all
yeah,
that?
yeah. So day one was land in Manila, and then go see the wonderful sights, and then day two we flew out from Manila to Boracay, and then from there we started training
Okay, okay.
every day in the hot sun.
Wow. And that's so let's because I mean, again, I'm going to reference people like to check this out and all that. But before I do, let's, I mean, this was, folks. Again, I'm going to reference the YouTube channel that you can go to, and Gladys actually, you could say a mini documentary for all, I guess you could say, but kind of filmed the whole 4 day thing, and I thought it was really neat, and all that. Did you did you initiate this yourself, or did they ask you to do this, or is this
No,
something you kind of came up on your own?
actually, I was also partially sponsored to go to Philippines, and the sponsor was like, I only have one request, is that you film your experience.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
you at least put 15 minutes of videos on YouTube so that everybody could see and share your experience, because Philippines, it really is beautiful. And see the culture there, and the people, and the food, and you know the history. And I said, yeah, deal.
Oh
I'll
my
do that.
God.
And it
Yeah.
was
Right.
really difficult because there was there were barely Wi-Fi, so it was kind of hard trying to launch these videos while having to wait for a good
Mm,
signal.
yeah. I can attest to that because I interview people from over there. Some it's really good depending on where they live. A couple though, it just was like the Wi-Fi was just it was bad. I mean,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
spoiled here in the U.S.
Yeah, it was like
Internet everywhere.
choppy. They're going in and out. I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad. But so okay. Again, for the folks that are watching, I mean, this is I'm going to reference again the YouTube channel, but this is like a 4 day thing. I thought it was really well done by you. I thought it was really neat what you captured, the different people, the ocean. I mean, the sights and all that. I thought it was just really, really well done. Um, but before we get into that, I'm going to show a vid because this is kind of like your precursor to what you're going to do here. So, folks, listen in.
Guys, right now currently I'm working on a video just to get started, to get my feet wet, to see how this is gonna go, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of documenting of my trip to Philippines.
It's exciting. I'm starting on this video, and even from the beginning to admit that I don't know how to do video edits and do YouTube and be a YouTuber, but I think I have enough coffee in me today to try to figure it out. So, yeah, I am excited. I guess I should start here in my car. Usually where I'm at all the time, traveling from city to city. I am from Orlando, and I am a practitioner in Filipino combat systems. I'm working my way to become an instructor, and I'm really excited about that. It's hard work, and I certainly appreciate all of my instructors who helped me through this journey. I'm basically traveling from Orlando to Gainesville to Ocala to Newport Richey, where all of my manongs and gurus are. I love to travel just to train and touch hands with, anyone in the Filipino combat system. So that's basically why I'm always in my car. Racking up the miles,
I'm ridiculous.
but it's worth it.
That was fun.
So many questions in my head. Like, what are you gonna say? I don't know, just say anything that comes out of your mind. Yeah, but what if you sound stupid? Quit being a baby.
Yeah. I think it was neat. Like you kind of made a little kind of, pre-trip video, kind of alluding to what you were going to do.
It's healthy.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was kind of neat to do. Kind of let everybody know what's coming down, what you're going to do and all that. Yeah. And so, and some extracurricular activity in there.
The best part about going to Philippines, and I actually made a separate one. I made a video when we stopped by in Kalibo, Aklan, where we saw Soviet De La Cruz, and he makes blades, Sanduku and Taliban,
Okay.
and how I just felt so honored to been there and to see them how they made the blades, how they forged it, and like these kids are just hammering into the blade,
No,
the
it's such
rhythmic
a talent,
freedom.
huh?
It was amazing to see how the blades were made, and yeah, and then we got to go to the De La Cruz House of Pina, which they did fabric weaving and indigenous
Mm.
materials from traditional weaving techniques. It was incredible.
No, I can't imagine. I mean, just to see them like make them and the work going into it. I mean, that's got. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, just such an incredible talent and what comes out of it. So, all right. So you get to Manila. Obviously, you're getting firsthand the traffic and all that. So day one is. I'm guessing you're kind of just getting acclimated. I'm guessing no training day one.
I just vaguely remember. Um, yeah, we went to training. I think we went to, I forgot what it was called. We went out into the beach, and I forgot what it was called. It's in my video,
Okay.
and we definitely did train. I think the video too
Okay.
had showed where we were at and how, and then just started the training basically. Yeah,
So day two is pretty much when the training started. Okay.
yeah.
Um, again, just for the folks, take this, like I've seen it, but to me, I'm not gonna do it justice. So, so day two, take us through it. You're on the beach, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, we were BTR, and it's just this. And when we got there, because Boracay was closed actually
Mm,
for about 6 months, a lot of places have gone out of business.
yeah.
And one of the Tuhan's favorite spot, they weren't open anymore. But anyway, neither here nor there. We went out to the beach and just started training, and I forgot exactly where it was at.
So how long? I mean, like how long were the days? I mean, like
It
training
was
and
like
everything else?
5 to 6 hours of training every day.
Okay, okay.
The last day was testing.
Okay, last day testing. So day 2 and 3, pretty much training. Okay. So day 2, was it pretty much all Tuhan Ray doing all the teaching?
He was doing teaching. There were some instructors and masters that were there that had done some demos. I think that was day 3,
Okay.
day 3 or 4.
Um,
Um,
I think because when I looked at some of the videos, it looked like there were some short spotty dagger. I saw the
yeah,
one. Like, what did you enjoy? I mean, obviously, I'm sure all of it, but is there anything that stood out? Or I mean, like, in other words, for these camps, does he a lot for like things that maybe you don't see in the regular classes, in
the
Orlando?
Compulan.
Yeah,
When Suhan started demoing the Compulan and the history behind it, um, I think it's in the video 3.
yeah,
He was with Sam doing the demo. It was awesome just to
yeah.
see, because it's like you always see Filipinos work on sticks and short
Yeah.
blades and whatever, but I've never seen anyone do any demo with the Compulan and the history behind it, and I thought that was pretty
Oh my
amazing.
God. You have to check out, and you're gonna love it. Yuli Romo.
Hmm?
Have you, check out Yuli Romo doing the Capelon. It's in. Oh my gosh, I can't. But you're
Really Romo. Okay.
Yuli Romo. Matter of fact, I'll do. I'm gonna send you the video.
Yeah, I see some of it. Illustrumos? Illus.
Yeah, he was one of the 5 pillars of KI, but
Okay.
his movement. I mean, I think it's. I'll send it to you though. You're gonna. Yeah. I think you'll really enjoy it. Yeah. So then there was that. Looks like so, and what are things that he showed that normally that you don't see in the States? It looks like short and long too, spotty adaga.
Honestly, I've seen them all in the States. Tuhun's really pretty good at sharing every wealth of knowledge, but that Compulan I'm going to stick with that. That's the first time I've
That
seen
was
him go
yeah,
about it. It was just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. That's
The technique.
I remember seeing that, but no,
Have, if you train with a Compulan, that thing is it's a long blade.
yeah,
It's just and the way you have
I
to
have
handle
one.
it. Yeah,
It's like 30, yeah, yeah, and people think they're heavy. They're not as heavy as you
they're
think they are. But yeah, I mean, the history, like you said, the history behind it is just, yeah, it's pretty incredible.
made to keep people at a long distance and away from you,
Yeah,
basically.
when I think starts swinging around, yeah, I
Yeah.
know. No, yeah, get out of the way. So, but I was gonna say there. So what else? I mean, besides, obviously you're training 5, 6 hours a day and all that. I mean, like, what about like, what can you tell us? What else? Like, besides the training. But I mean, like
The food.
I just like seeing those beach, the water. The water just looks like I haven't seen
Beautiful.
ocean water that clear.
It
Just
was. It wasn't before we got there. Again, before we got there, it had been Boracay had been closed for 6 months, and then they just cleaned it up, and it was just so. And then by the time we got there, it was just beautiful. The water was clear, it
mm,
was blue, and then we got to eat the amazing food. Oh my God, it was
yeah,
so good. And tanduay, lots of tanduay.
what's that? I'm sorry.
It's rum, basically.
Wow, that's new to me. Okay, so is that kind of like the? Oh, really? Okay.
Tanduay was water for us. Had to brush your teeth with that too, because you can't drink local water. But yeah, it was a lot of tanduay, and one of my favorites was I forgot what it was called. So this thing that was labanog. Labanog is a traditional Philippine distilled palm liquor that was made from cocoa or nipa palm. That
Okay.
was really good too. I brought a few home, and I gave one to, my instructor and some of my friends. It was really good.
Wow. Yeah. I just never. Huh. I didn't know rum was like. That's interesting. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and eating balut. Oh, I'm Philippine. I don't eat balut, but I got to
So what's
see.
that? Is that the egg?
Yeah, it was like the half hatched goose egg or egg.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just,
Okay. Yep. I've seen that. I've seen pictures of it. I should say.
it's Filipino delicacy, and I'm like, no. But I was
Yeah.
able to film the newbies. I was able to film 200 din although teaching everyone how to eat it. We finally found somebody when we were walking the sands in Philippines after training, and this guy was selling balut, and everybody, a few of them were like, all right, how do you eat this? And it's in the video, and I'm just like watching from behind, like, oh.
Yeah. I seen and I don't. I mean, I've had Filipino food before, and I loved it. I'm not so sure I could be eating that though. I don't know. I just don't know.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not for me.
yeah.
I
It's
can, yeah.
so so yeah, but it's kind of like for those who are watching, maybe don't know. It's again, it's kind of half hat. I mean,
Yeah, it's
how do you
half
describe it?
duck egg,
Duck egg. Okay, okay.
or yeah, in a goose egg, whatever. And again, it's just you acquired taste.
Mm.
Will never get me to eat that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I would. Yeah, again, it wouldn't be my first thing to go to if I was over there. I wouldn't be
Well,
searching.
somebody's gonna make you try.
Yeah, just yeah. Again, I think I would. There'd be maybe the other thing is I would want to test out or eat. So, all right. So you're over there. So people who might want to go there. Okay, so you train during the day. Um, I'm guessing kind of after that it's kind of train social. I mean, it looks like you guys were right on the beach, so I'm guessing there had to be like restaurants, bars, I mean, whatever
So
nearby, right?
yeah, every day was different. It's either it was stick or empty hand on first day, and then the second day, and then we go to restaurant, eat, drink, be
Mm,
merry, and then the second day of training it would be long blades with Campulan, whatever, and then the third day would be instructors showing their their knowledge and skills, and also we had some uh, other masters do their presentation, and then it would be level testing, which was awesome for me to see because I saw level testing by one of the just highly skilled persons I've seen in live, and his name is Bruno. I think he's from South America, and man, that guy has some skills. And like, I got a lot of work to do.
yeah,
But
but
yeah, after that, then of course we, you know, go and eat some amazing food
yeah,
and see and swim in the oceans and yeah.
that water, that I just remember seeing that water, just looked wow, that just that blue. I mean, like think about that in contrast to like the Atlantic Ocean, you know, it's just
Compared to
but
Cocoa Beach, yeah, it's blue.
yeah, just wow, that water just. So how I mean when you're over there and all that, how's like I know it was 2019, but like cost, like things. I mean, expensive over there or cheap? I mean, what's
With the US dollars converted to pesos, I spent American dollars $200, two to $300
for the whole 4 days?
for the whole 4 days
That's incredible.
for just eating and buying um, souvenirs. It's really cheap over there. But
That's
yeah, the
incredible.
conversion is really cheap. So, but the flights, it'll get you 800 depending on when you buy your
Mm,
tickets, 800 to $1,200, and then
I
you have
see
the
that. Yeah. When I was checking into it, I recall like 900, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. But still though, if you're only spending 200 while you're there, I mean, that's incredible. I mean,
So you
that's,
got to be careful. If you buy too much, your luggage is like little bit over the weight, and then
I
you
know
have
where
to pay.
I know they're gonna charge you like $50
Yeah.
or whatever for that. Yeah, yeah. Wow. It's just man. So how about night? I mean, like, so obviously you go to nightlife must have been fun, huh? I mean, she's.
Yeah, it was fun. There was some karaoke, as there should be in Philippines.
I hear that's serious business, man. Karaoke. You know.
Um, but one of the things I really wanted to bring back home was one of the blades that was
Mm.
made that was made by Soviet, and I couldn't because there was at the time there was a restriction.
You couldn't
Uh,
bring it?
huh?
I'm sorry, you couldn't bring it back?
No, I couldn't bring it back because there was some kind of restriction happening with trade or whatever, and
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry to
and I
hear
was
that.
really bummed out because everyone else got to the year prior before, and then now it was my turn to go, and I couldn't bring any back. So
Oh,
I
I'm
was a
sorry to
little
hear
bummed
that.
out.
Wow.
So hopefully those restrictions have been lifted,
Yeah,
but
I think that
but
because
not
I
now.
just
It's COVID.
know one of my old teachers. I mean, he's has some shit. Well, I don't know how he. I mean, I'm assuming it's done, but he has some shit back and forth. So, but maybe I don't know. I don't know if I want to open a can of worms. Maybe there's another way he's going about doing it, and all that. So there's no way you can have it like sent to you, huh? That's too bad.
No, and even when my parents went a few months afterwards,
Mm,
I brought back a few, alcohol 10 to bottles, and then they weren't able to bring it back. I don't know why. I don't know what happened at that
huh,
time, but
okay.
a
Gee.
lot, yeah.
So
So
wow, so they really checked the luggage and all that. Okay, okay. That's too bad. Because you're gonna have to. Well, maybe they'll. Some of those restrictions will be lifted or all that. You can hopefully maybe one day get sent to you. Or when you go back, they'll be. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um,
I would definitely want to go back as soon as all this chaos just goes away.
mm, I know. I really want to go. I keep hearing that flight. I'm just like,
It's worth it. It's so beautiful. The
no,
training
everybody
with the
says it. I
masters,
hear
the
it.
food.
No, you're right. I hear it from everybody that you got to go one day. I hear it from everybody. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just gonna have to. Yeah, maybe go to I don't know. Go to California first, and then from California go there. So maybe it's not as bad like that whole trip. I don't know. Have to figure something out. But but so um, so obviously this is something that goes on every year. I mean, obviously, so I'm guessing 2021. It's probably going to be not happening.
I don't know.
Yeah, up in the air still, huh?
I
Yeah.
honestly don't know. I would have to ask Chuhan and
Yeah,
see what's
it's
happening.
probably
And
too
it's
early. Yeah.
yeah, there's some still restrictions from COVID in some parts of the world. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, and I hear
All I
over
know is
there, just from talking to a few people I know over there, I guess it's depending on the week or the month, where if the cases go up, and all that. So, wow. Well, this has been okay. How about okay? Thank you for that. And again, folks that are watching, I highly, highly recommend. I'm gonna put the link on here for the YouTube, which we're talking about, and I highly guys you check that out. Just great footage. I thought you did really well on that. Congrats to
thank
you.
you.
I thought that was really well done. I enjoyed it. So, um, but so how about goals for you? Like, what are your future goals for as a practitioner and or whatever to do with FMA? What are your goals?
Oh, my future goals is to get over myself and my fear and actually, get into love, do the level through 3 and 4
Hmm.
and 5. And then after that, I also want to train with other female martial artists like Michelle Manu. I'm a fan of hers, and learning Hawaii martial arts. I just want to meet other female martial artists that are really
Mm.
good and touch hands with them and learn from them too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What about goals far as like you know teaching one day or or stuff like that, or any ambitions as far as that goes?
Yes. A year ago, yeah, I was really ambitious. I was just I really want to become an instructor. I really want to know what I'm saying because I honestly I feel like half of this interview when I give out an answer, like I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I promise I do. I'm really bad at interviews.
Yeah,
But
no.
yeah, I want to be able to yeah, I want to teach other students in the Filipino martial arts. I want to teach them what a sombrada is, and females can do it too, and they don't have to be so afraid. It's not, you know, they a lot of them think it's just so masculine, and
I know, I
it's not
know.
that. It's they're very well in this group. They're very welcoming, and I have seen a lot of talented female martial artists like Kia Grace from Arizona. She is one badass.
Mm,
To name a few, you know, Mila or Monica from France. I mean, like, or from Italy. And yeah, there's other female martial artists there. You just got to get out there and not be so shy.
yeah,
At at first, at first I thought because I was new, men didn't want to train with me, and that they were just being sexist, whatever. And the problem wasn't with that. The problem was with me and how I was thinking. Well, if you're gonna think like that, you know, just get out of your head because there are guys that want to help teach other female to
yeah.
practice.
I completely agree with that. That guys want. I just know from my perspective that CJ. I mean, I have a few females, and and they do great. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
blend right in. I mean, it's and I'm with you on that. Like, we have
If
to
you
make
really
it.
want to, yeah, if you really want to train and if you really like the what you do, you know,
Right.
go ahead and do it and
No,
quit.
there should be no barriers. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, most of the time they're mental. The mental barriers and all that.
it
But
is. It's a mental barrier. Just
yeah,
go out there and kick ass, man.
you heard it. No, but yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think we need more female instructors, more kind of leading the way and setting an example for the up and coming females coming up. I think if there were more that they could relate to, I think that would help as well. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing. Part of this is why, like, I stressed when I started doing this, like, I kind of made a mission statement when I created the group FMA discussion, and within that mission statement, I made it very clear I wasn't looking for big names, and
Hmm.
B, I wanted females because I tell you, there's a lot of people out there that are doing some really good stuff, but maybe they don't have a big name. That doesn't mean they're not doing great, great stuff, And so a lot of the people I've gotten on the show weren't really big names, just people that I think they're doing good stuff and should be heard. And maybe they never got the opportunity to be heard or the platform to be heard. And so that's it holds true with getting more females on here because they
Yeah,
should actually be
definitely.
heard.
And I've seen some women, men, boy, some of them are really quick too. There's some of them I've seen are quicker than, you know, whatever, but it's, you know, all of us has skills. All
Yeah.
of us has something to bring to the table.
No, I
So,
absolutely 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I always ask this before I kind of wrap up. And this has been fantastic, by the way. You've great, great stuff you're sharing. Um, I asked everybody this, and there's no right or wrong answer to this. Just what changes would you like to see as far as our community? It could be anything, but just far as the Filipino martial art community, what positive changes would you like to see within our community?
and less politics,
Amen.
really, like, let's all touch hands and just learn from each other. Um, yeah, that's all it's just, you get so sick and tired of the politics sometimes, and it just, like, man, if only if that wasn't happening, maybe we could all just play well together. But whatever, it's martial arts.
No, I know it's and believe
Your
me, like,
your way is not as good as our way, and I
yeah,
mean,
I
yeah,
know, I know it's it's bad, and I get it, like just from these interviews and like the pre-interviews. I mean, I get exposed to stuff that I really didn't ask to get exposed to, and all that. But it's rampant. It is, but I tell you though, I think there's been drastic improvements. I think things are changing.
I
Slowly
see
but
that.
surely. I think some of it comes from the old guard. I hate to say it, and when that old guard kind of move on or what have you. I think things, but because I truly see it in the younger generation, like people, what do you want to call them, second generation, third generation, however, depending on the decade you start training and all that, and who you're under. But I definitely am seeing like more positive in that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But of
I mean,
course,
the more we voice out, we just enough with the politics, then the more hopefully it'll just, also dwindle down. So,
I think so. And the thing is, it's everywhere, but I just hate seeing it in our community because as it is, we're kind of like, obviously BJJ, MMA. I mean, they got, big. I mean, there's, social media. I mean, they got enough voices in the community. Where's
yeah.
FMA?
Oh,
Really,
and I want more females to come out and start training.
yeah, that's a good,
That too. I
yeah,
mean, there is a lot. There's a lot of us. I mean, the females are out there, but I would like to see a lot more.
yeah. Same here, and just like to keep it going, especially. My fear is, and it could be maybe overblown, but I just like in general get the youth in too because I would just see like more youth coming up and trying to do it, so keep it that kind of perpetual growth and all that. But women too, that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, and what's your opinion on like something that Chris brought up? I thought really resonated with me, like the art versus functionality. You know what I mean? Like there are times like I've gone to places like and again, this is from my journey. It doesn't mean it's better than anybody else because it's not. It's just what I prefer. Like I prefer like contact, being held accountable, like stress inoculation. I mean, but again, I'm just speaking for me. It doesn't mean it's better or more important than anybody. It doesn't, because if it makes you happy, puts a smile on your face, then that's for you. But what I'm getting at is, how do you view that when people say like, well, you should be doing functional arts? Like, what's your from a women's perspective? What's your view on that?
To each his own. Um,
Yeah.
I'm
No, you
so
can't.
sorry, I'm so big. Um, I'm a martial artist. I love the art. And also I've been training so much that it's just become body mechanics, muscle memory,
Mhm.
the functionality of it. Uh, have I ever gotten to a violent fight before? Have I used any of what I've learned in self-defense? I'm not answering any of those, but it goes both. It does functionality does definitely does have. Um, it's been proven in that some of the techniques that I've used. But overall, I'm just a martial artist, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm just
No.
gonna
Good
say.
answer.
Um,
Yeah. No. No.
so I'd rather have it and not need it than
Absolutely.
have to need it and not have the skill for it.
Yeah. And then God forbid something terrible, and right, you don't have. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. No.
That's
Thank you.
why
Well.
I train so much, and that's another reason why I also began is because of self-defense
Yeah.
and
No. That was a
self-offense.
good answer. No. Thank you. It's a tough one. When you ask that of some people, you know what I mean. So I had to be like kind of really careful how I word it because I certainly don't want to dismiss all that because I think, again, I hold to this. I really, really do. Your journey is your journey. So
Yeah.
whatever you like and whatever, if it puts a smile on your face and motivates you, well, then that's great. You know what I mean? Nobody, you don't need to explain that to anybody if it makes you happy. You know what I mean? Um, But
FMA makes me happy, for
I mean,
sure.
but it's just one of the things just from doing these interviews that kind of comes across is, like that whole thing with the art versus functionality, and I never got a woman's view on that, so I was just curious what your thoughts were on that. So no,
I
but
have to
thanks.
look into that question a little bit more, maybe later, but for now, that's the answer that I have.
You know what? It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, when we get you off the record, we'll get more.
Yeah.
Richard Pac-Man, hey, uh, know that. Well, this has been fantastic.
Thank you.
Do you have anything that like that you would like to share with everybody? Any
Yes,
closing statements? Anything?
yes. Do one art at a time because learning to do two
Mm,
forms of from two arts, like the 12, yeah, and Chris can tell you this, he always yells at me, doing FCS form and then modern Arnis is just so hard. So try to do one thing at a time if you can.
mm.
I don't know. Have
I
fun.
can
Be
attest to that.
kind to each other when you do martial arts. Leave your ego at the door because there's always
Mm,
somebody who's always better than you, and um, and always want to learn
yeah,
and empty your cup when you get into that dojo or when you enter that park or wherever you are. Empty your cup, and yeah, that's it. And have fun.
that's great. Yeah, yeah. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, right. Just be. I like particularly the part like just being open. Like what I mean, go in there and just like and see what's there. If you pick up something, you know what I mean. But just be open and all that. You know.
Touch hands with the newbies.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
yeah. So no, I think that was well put by you. No, great. But I want to thank you so much. I hope
Thank
we didn't
you.
take too much of your time tonight. I want to thank you so much for coming on. I really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Oh, anytime, anytime. So I always I try to bring people back on down the road, just see like what they're doing or anything significant changes and all that. Well, in this whole COVID mess, you know what I mean.
What a mess.
I know. So I'm hoping, yeah, things for all our sakes, change. But so what I do is I take this, I download it to YouTube, and what I do is I'll take Richard Pac-Man Part Two as my vote.
What?
So, but and then I'll tag you on your wall with it, and all that. So, and usually I get it done on the same night. It doesn't take me that long, and I'll put it right on your wall for you.
Okay.
And but yeah, but again, I want to thank you so much for coming on. This is a lot of great comments. So I thought this went really, really well. I think you did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to send you that vid, Yuli Romo. Matter of fact, I'm writing it down so I don't forget. Coming up. All right, Gladys. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Good night. All right. That was a good one. Next week. Who is next week? Oh my gosh. Next week. Oh my gosh. I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, Bobby Taboda next Thursday. Valentinois King next Thursday. I may probably have somebody Tuesday, but definitely Thursday is definitely Master Bobby Taboda, and so that should be good. And again, I think I'm going to probably get somebody Tuesday on. Just not sure who yet, but I'll know by the weekend. And again, if you haven't, please hit like and subscribe to FMA Discussion on YouTube. And I will see you all next week. Thanks for all the comments and the questions. Thank you.